beautiful Tuesday, wet and cool here in the city of Abeokuta, and the reports reaching us is almost the same all over the country. Yes, that's a shower of blessings, some of you will say. Welcome once again, Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM. This is the voice of the people and Citizens Forum. It's the segment. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu saying good morning.
All right, this morning we will be going sporting. I think that is necessary, particularly when we have a cool weather. It's necessary to shave off some of those hiccups in our body. And this morning, yes, expectedly, we'll be in the field. The king of sports, they call it, that is football. Trust it, that is one opium so many Nigerians love to take. And it's one sport that keeps us as Nigerians united. There is no ethnic or religious bigotry when it comes to football in particular. That is where almost all Nigerian is either a coach or a footballer or an administrator. So unsurprisingly, when Nigeria conceded for the first time in the history to South Africa, yes, South Africa beating us for the first time in a competitive match here in Nigeria, ironically in a stadium named as the Nest of Champions. So it became a nest for South Africa to harvest. Well, a lot of Nigerians trust them, went out to the public, debates were going on, what should have been done that were not done, and what shouldn't have been done that were done. Our next competitive match will be against Cameroon, African champion, very strong team. They may not have stars, but they have a united team. The Nigerian Football Federation expectedly are getting proactive, trying to take some steps to ensure that another shocker do not come. We want to stop this calculation of if this happens, this will happen. If that did not happen, that will happen. So we'll find out. First, we have online the first vice president, Nigerian Football Federation, is a lawyer, Seyi Akinwunmi. Good morning, Mr. Akinwunmi.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Akinwunmi. Quickly, can you let us know the feelings or the plans now, as it were? It's not too early to begin to look at it from the federation about the national team. What are the new things Nigerians will expect?
Well, first of all, I think that as a member of the board, we should apologize to Nigeria because we're fans as well and we wanted to win, certainly. But these things happen sometimes, and it has happened. So we're glad that it happened when we had a chance to qualify for the Nations Cup and didn't come at the time where it could kill off our World Cup hopes. So we immediately went back and looked at what had happened, spoke with coach, and started planning for the next match. You know, this one is behind us. We need really to focus on the next match. We believe that we have a good team, despite what everybody has been saying after the loss. We have good players who become bad players overnight. This was a bad day in the office. And, you know, we have 180 million Nigerian coaches, so everybody has a perspective. But the important thing for us is that the coaches and the players are focused. They haven't let that get to them. Don't forget that we had a number of more experienced players who were out through injury, you know, from the goalkeeper to the captain to, various other players, Victor Moses, all of them, and they're all committed to coming back with these young lads and ensuring that we pick up Cameroon both over the way. So I think the most important thing I'd like to tell Nigerians is that we're focused and we're not distracted by that loss. It's extremely important because we can continue to mellow or follow in that loss and then forget that we have a big match ahead of us.
All right, but why is it that Nigerians, when we have a loss, they focus on the coach? Maybe the coach didn't do the right thing or something. Why is this always so?
Well, because Nigeria, like I said, we have 180 million Nigerians. We probably have 179 million coaches. Everybody knows what should be done. This same coach who was a fantastic coach, and other players who were wonderful players and will take on the world because they did a loss. They become very bad. But it's the way, it's how we have encouraging each other. I think that's what I put it down to. Everybody always says, when you lose, we're all very passionate, so we tend to.
Okay, so it should always be a win all the time.
Well, we hope it should always be, but it doesn't happen that way. It's how you come back from a loss that is important. When you lose, you don't get drowned in it. That's important for us to learn.
Okay, is it true that the coach is also under pressure from the board?
It's not true. I even spoke to the coach a few days ago. He's not under any pressure whatsoever. Of course, he is upset too that we lost, but I think that's as much pressure as he has because he is also a winner. The players are under pressure, the board itself is under pressure because we all want to win. He came here, as he said to me, I came to Nigeria not score and lose. I came here to score and qualify for World Cup and Nations Cup. So, but he's not under pressure from the board at all, I assure you that.
So will the board also be a part of those who will assist in selecting the next team for him?
Who will what? Assist the next
team, the next team. Players, the next players.
Don't believe all that you read in papers. The coach has a contract. And in that contract, he is solely responsible for the Super Eagles team. So nobody would have or will help him to choose team. He will probably get discussions with the technical committee, and that's it. But at the end of the day, it's his responsibility. So I've read many places they said, he has to submit his list and he has to be vetted. That's not correct.
Now, Mr. Akinwunmi, the Nigerian-born players that played as part of the the under-20 English Lions at the last World Cup, those Nigerians, are they on your radar too?
See, the one thing that this board has done is that, and in some quarters they've been castigated for it, is that he has spread the net across the world of where we have good Nigerian players, and these include some of those boys that you're talking about. So it's not just peculiar to them, but some of them are included. Some certainly don't want to go for Nigeria, but some are still thinking about it. And as far as we are concerned, we just need to look at the best players wherever they are, as long as they have Nigerian blood in them and they're eligible to play for Nigeria. So, yes, the answer to that is yes, they're also under the radar.
Do we have all it takes to be able to lure these foreign-based players?
Yes, certainly we do.
Talk about resources, and it won't affect the academy.
No, I think people underestimate the lure of Nigeria. When you're in Nigeria here, you don't appreciate what a lovely country it is, what an attractive country it is. Forget the drawbacks. Every country has a drawback. Look, Liam Balogun came back to play for Nigeria. William Troost-Ekong could have played for the Dutch team in Nigeria. There are many of them who would gladly come back. Even Victor Moses could have played in England. So the opportunities to play for Nigeria is quite attractive to them. Many of them are just need to be convinced that they'll be welcomed. So we've spoken to parents, we've spoken to the boys. Some of them really don't want to because for personal reasons, but many of them would really love to. And they also recognize that the players that we have in Nigeria are very good and they may not get into the team. It's not automatic. So all these things weigh on their mind. But we certainly have the layer.
Now, Mr. Akinwunmi, which of them specifically, I'm still talking about those 5 junior English Lions, have signified their interest and those the board, NFF, has contacted?
I really don't think it's fair for me to start. these things to them, the individual young men. I don't think that until anything is agreed and sorted out, I should go on air in public talk about it. It's really not fair. If it was my son, I wouldn't want that, because it has happened that someone have said no before, categorical no have come, and some who have said yes have changed their mind. So I think that until they are called up and they agree and they come to camp, I don't think it's fair for me to.
Okay, Mr. Akinwunmi, what of those we have on ground? Don't you think this will affect them a great deal?
How do you by bringing people from abroad?
Yeah, if you have to
sudden appearance of those
other ones, that means they're not
No,
doing enough.
No, I think football is a game of competition between teams and also between individuals to get into the first team. So if the coast is wider, it means you just need to work harder. And like I said a few minutes ago, those coming from outside, it's not automatic. Those who live abroad, it's not automatic that when you come in, you get into the team. So the issue really is that everybody needs to work harder and be more professional at their work. So the more professional it is, the harder you need to work. I think that's just standard in every sphere of life, not even for football. But we like to get sentimental in football that, they exclude this one or exclude that one. Nobody's excluding anybody. The best players are what we want.
Okay, how do you redeem this image again in the minds of Nigerians? How prepared are we for the next match?
Well, we redeem it by winning. I think that's just, I assure you, if we win the next match, or when we win the next match, everybody has forgotten the match against South Africa. So the answer to that question of redeeming is by winning the next match. And in terms of preparation, all the preparation for the game starts the day after the last match. And actually, the coach is already working. The technical committee is working. He's met with him. They've had fruitful discussions. Scouting going on. Also, things are going on. The Cameroonian team is playing at the moment, and the technical analysis going on. So the match is already taking place.
Now, before we let you go, let me also find out what you think. What's your opinion now with the introduction of video technology that is being experimented in the Federation Cup going on?
But I think that technology has always proven to be a good thing. It's always resisted, usually at the beginning. I think what I saw that it's a good innovation. As the referees learn how to use it faster, then the slowdown in the game will be less. And I think that the most important thing now is football is a multi-billion naira game. One single error can make a great difference to the lives of many in football. So if we're going to get the correct decisions all the time, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, but some people have also argued that luck, either good or bad luck, is also part of football. So when the referee makes a call that is against you, which becomes a bad luck, it's supposed to be part of the game.
No, I don't agree. I think that we have seen from now that with the goal line technology that has been in place, it's not an issue of luck or bad luck, it's an issue of fact. If the ball crosses the line, then it's a goal. If it doesn't cross the line, it's not a goal. I don't think that should be luck. It should be fact. I think we need to move away. When luck came to play when there was no technology. When we have the technology, then let's use it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, lastly,
okay,
we're looking at the next team, the next game, and preparations are in top gear. Why would we always wait for when there is a loss before we make preparations very tight?
And I don't think that this is what I think is fair. I think we have been preparing for these games. We've won away, we won at home in the qualifiers. So we've always been preparing. We've gone to France to prepare. It just had happened that we had a bad day at the office. It's not because we didn't prepare for that match. We had a bad day at the office, and we also had some players, vital players who didn't show up. But at the end of the day, it was just one loss. It was a bad day at the office. We all have it. The important thing is that it is not fundamental to our qualification for the World Cup, one. And two, we have an opportunity to rectify it in the Nations Cup, two. We still have 5 more games in the Nations Cup. So we don't wait until that time. We have always preparing. Just that we had a bad day.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The first Vice President, Nigerian Football Federation, Mr. Seyi Akinwunmi, talking to us from Lagos. God bless. I understand you are traveling out of the country. Have a safe journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, yes, Daybreak Show, Citizens Forum, don't go anywhere. We'll put a line through to another analyst, sport administrator, journalist, to get a member of the CAF Technical Committee to also get what he feels about the issue we are looking at. Interestingly, Seyi Akinwunmi has confirmed that Nigeria is interested in having those 5 boys. I can't remember all the names, so I just know Olain and Sholanke or so. And then there's Victor there. They are on the radar of the NFF. Some of them have shown interest. Well, he said, I think he's also right. Sometimes they say yes, eventually the yes turns to no, following some underplay. And then sometimes they say no, and the no eventually becomes a yes. He's also denied the story you've been hearing that the NFF is the technical coach, Gernot Rohr, is under pressure from the NFF. We've been told the NFF said they are going to join him to select the team. He said no, he still has the free hand to do so. It is his neck that will be put on the chopping board at the end of the day. Let's take this music break to enable us to do that connection, hopefully, and we will be back. Thanks for still being there. Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Abeokuta. This morning we are on the field. Football, the king of sports, they call it, and one opium. So many Nigerians would love to take for sure. Once you have football, once the game is on, there is no east or west. We are all Nigerian, and maybe that is why almost all of us, we are reputable coach. Well, okay, some people will say not reputable coach. Disturbingly, we can be either as coach or analyst or even as players, mouth players. Permit me if there is anything like that. Earlier on, you heard the voice of the first vice president of the NFF, Seyi Akinwunmi, a lawyer, talking to us. Now we have a sports administrator, a journalist, and a member of the CAF Online, Mr. Paul Bassey. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My pleasure.
All right, welcome to the Daybreak Show. First, the last match, the result, well, that's gone now, but we are looking ahead towards the next one, and there are stories about the need for some other eagle-eyed people to assist Gernot Rohr, the technical advisor. Do you support this, that the NFF should also be a part of those who will select the team for him?
No. I think we're getting it wrong here. The NFF cannot be part of those who select the team for him.
We have a technical committee of the NFF who should.
A lot of people misinterpret. A lot of people misinterpret the functions and the work of the technical committee. The technical committee is to assist. Don't forget that yes, the NFF is the football ruling body in this country. It is the responsibility of the NFF to guarantee, first of all, the recruitment of reputable coaches to handle our national teams. It is the work of the NFF to make sure that those coaches and players, when they are brought in, work under the environment, atmosphere, welfare of players, provide provision of finances, and so on. That is the work of the NFF. I cannot run away from it. But the buck stops at the coaches' table when there are things like maybe victory or defeat, as the case may be. You see, I don't know. Forgive me, but I'm one of the happiest persons with what happened to us against South Africa. Because before we were going as if nothing was wrong. So we left this technical committee about for over a year. They didn't meet, they were sidelined. Nobody thought that they were useful. People would just go there, bring whoever they think they could bring, and then put them there, give them the Nigerian national club, and so on. The defeat against South Africa was very welcome, coming at the time it is. Coming as the first match in Nations Cup qualifier, which means we have enough time to regroup. Thank God it did not come against Cameroon, because that would have been disastrous. I think this has happened. There's been a lot of the ink wasted, airtime. I think it is welcome. Some say it is a wake-up call. Let us now sit down and do it the way it is done. That is what I feel. I am happy it happened. I'm happy that certain things have been taken into consideration. A coach who wants to bring a player, for God's sake, he's not a Nigerian for crying out loud. He brings a player from somewhere. It's only fair that he also allows people to ask questions. This player that I have brought, what do you see? What do you think about him? At the end of the day, take the final decision. They cannot be the sole, the on and on in the invitation, in the selection, and the fielding of players. That is what I want us to understand.
Now, you have said that defeat came at the time it should, because it will give us the opportunity to do what we should do. So what are those things you think we should do before the next match?
I have said it. We have Nigerians dotted all over this world. The coach will want to invite Paul Bassey from Ukraine. It's only fair that the coach should ask the opinion of one or two other people. You are toying with the emotion of this country. Technical committee, technical department, because they are two separate entities. What do you think about Paul Bassey? And then people will go to work. He only has coaches with him. There's a technical department in the Nigerian Football Federation. They'll find out about this person. Is he a flash in the pan? How many goals has this scored so far? What is the consistency level? And they will tell you. And then you finally take a decision. The decision where the technical director is sidelined, nobody talks to him, doesn't work with the coach, the technical committee has no input as to where you want to play, whether funds are available or not, and then you go solo, and then you have won 20 matches and they believe that you have arrived. This was just necessary. The Nigerian Football Federation has the responsibility of making sure that the national team is in proper shape. But before now, that was not the case. Before now, agents were running the show. I will say this again and again. Before now, certain individuals were brought in to invite players to the national team. It should not be so. I think we have started doing the right thing. I can assure you that I'm not losing sleep. Nigeria has a good team to qualify for the Nations Cup and will qualify for the World Cup. And we will qualify for the World Cup before the end of the competition with one or two matches in hand. That's what will happen with what has happened to us now.
Okay, does that mean there is no peace? They are not working hand in hand as a body.
Maybe that is what I'm saying. That if you look at the success of Elijah Megeri as NFF president, find out the work of the technical committee. They were very supportive. The coaches asked questions. They brought the grievances to the table. It is only the technical committee, headed by the board member of the NFF, and the vice president is also a board member of the NFF. When you tell us what your problems, challenges are, let me not call it problem. These gentlemen will take it to the board. And then we have people, we have a Christian Chuku, we have a Egwuonwu, we have a Paul Bassey, who can threaten to design if you don't have the team. But when you want to go solo, you invite whoever you want to invite. Look at the team that we fielded. People are giving so many excuses that are annoying. We lost to a better side, we did not play well. We fielded a team that was not a Nigerian team. So that happened for over a year. The results that we had were very ephemeral. They were not real. So this came at the proper time. Let's do the proper thing, please. Let there be synergy, let there be cooperation, let people work hand in hand. Why is there a technical department in the Nigerian Football Federation? Why do you have a technical committee when it comes to football? Because they have something to offer. You cannot just bring a coach from nowhere and he does whatever he likes and he's going to get results. No way.
Okay, let me also ask you at this point your opinion too about the Nigerians who were part of the Junior Lions team, English Lions, that just won the Under-20 World Cup. Do you think the technical committee or the technical advisor should also turn his radar at those young ones?
No, you see, the success of the English team is just a manifestation of the potentials of the Nigerian, the average Nigerian, wherever they find themselves. We have in this country youth. We've always been, if you go to the FIFA record, Nigeria is one of the foremost countries when it comes to youth football. At under 17 level, at under 20 level, we have held our own creditably, even with the Women's League. Not everybody will play for us. You see, if you go to track and field, we have some Americans who are running for Nigeria. Fine, that's the other way around. Youth football is essential. What we have always said, there should be a link, a development between youth football and the senior national team. If you have good under 20 squad, if you have good under 17 squad, there should be progress. There should be a line of progress from under 17 to under 20 to under 20. And that is what is happening. You know, I'm not going to say go and bring those boys from England. There are a lot of players like that. The NHS of sports, they are young. They are young. That is what we are doing. I congratulate them. I'm happy they're Nigerians. But at the same time, we have more of such in this country. We have.
Okay, looking at addressing the issue, we now know what the issue is. How can we address it? And why did it wait this long to be able to correct these issues that have been raised?
No, madam, it's not about, you see, this issue we have always known. It's not about waiting this long. I've said it. We allowed some of these mirages, so we thought we had arrived and everything, and then you can toy with the national team. Let me give you a classic example. Moses played the league, played the FA Cup, and suddenly he said he was going for an operation. And people thought they could call his bluff. They thought we will let him go, we have a replacement. When we didn't have. If that issue was brought to the technical committee, which I'm part of, would have pleaded with Moses, carry a while. You know, just give us this match, and then you can go for your operation. It's simple. Please. Yes, I know you had to go and so on. I would have had to change them not to marry you. There are a lot of things you can do off the field of play. Moses, please, give us this match. After this match, you have all the time in the world. You have 3 months to do your operation. But we have done that. So we just thought that after all, we can bring somebody, Nekuru from wherever, they mention all manners of names and put them in. People who are not tested, people who don't play regularly for their clubs. So there are a lot of things that you can do, which we did not do. Now we have started. The technical committee has met. They also saw the minister. The minister believes there should be a synergy. That is what we know how to do. He has worked for us in the past. We qualified for under 17. We qualified for under 20. This year, no Nigerian even knew that the FIFA under 20 World Cup has come and gone because Nigeria was not there. Nigeria was not in the under 17 Nations Cup. We have to redress some of these things. This defeat, is welcome. This defeat will take us back to our trap. This defeat will make us do what we know how to do best.
Okay, Mr. Paul Bassey.
The emotions of Nigerians when it comes to football.
Okay, let's come home. Let's talk local league now. The Nigerian national.
I prefer domestic league.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. It's not local, domestically. I agree. Yes, let's talk about our domestic league. You are the general manager of Aqua Ibom. Now, so far,
chairman of Aqua United.
Chairman Aqua United. We've gone into the second half of the thing. Give us an overview of the performance in terms of the refereeing, the play, and the administration now.
No, it's fine. It's getting better by the day. I must confess, it's getting better. When I was out there, some of the views I had, the criticism I had was not as informed as now that I'm in. I know how difficult it is in a country that is undergoing recession. I sympathize. Just yesterday, let him forgive me. I was talking to Balogun, the general manager of Shooting Stars. I know how difficult it is to get money from government. I know how difficult government is operating. They're not paying salaries, and then they're talking about football. It's becoming very difficult. My brother, in the first half of the league, they are 10 clubs in the northern part of this country. I went to 8 of them. You can imagine putting players in a bus and then driving them all the way to Bauchi. You come back, you're going to Katsina. You come back, you're going to Gombe. You come back, you're going to Nasarawa. It's not been easy. And people say, why don't you get into a plane? Well, I mean, which flight will take you to Nasarawa? Which flight will take you to Gombe? It's been difficult. The other external factors that are working against the process of this, but it's been very fine. The LMC has been wonderful. I must confess. It's not been easy. The officiating has really, really, really improved. Yes, 1 or 2 cases of whatever you call it. Let us also remember that these officials are human. Some of the mistakes we accredit to them is some of them are not good enough. The other day I had a match commissioner who came all the way from Maiduguri. It's not fair. Before it got to it was close to midnight. So that's one of the things we have to look into. But definitely the league has improved better than last week. It keeps on improving by the day. That is what I can say for now.
You've talked about money now, and one thing that is still common among many of the clubs is the issue of players' welfare and payments, match allowances and salaries. Sometimes ago, the owner of Remo Stars here said part of the problem is that many of the club administrators do not come out clean and straight to the players. I cannot afford to pay you more than 20,000, but because they want the player at all costs, they promise him what they know they cannot. Is it not time we begin to sanction this kind of thing and sanction heavily?
No, well, I don't know whether you have cases like that because if you sign, the LMC is that well structured. If you sign a contract, it's there, it's documented, you take it to the LMC. If you have any case like that, all you have to do is to complain. No, the players' welfare is paramount, and I'll say it again and again. It's unfortunate. The states who essentially own 90% of these clubs have not come out to say that I've given money, why have you not paid? The welfare of players in the league is pathetic. Most very pathetic. I am one of the lucky ones. I mean, my governor has been very supportive as I'm talking to you. I'm not owing any salary. I'm not owing any player anything. The only bonus I've not paid is the last one against Katsina, which was just played on Sunday. That is how I have benefited. But when I listen to my colleagues, I pity them, because the money is not there. And then how can we blame the government? The other day I was listening to the news. People have not paid salaries for teachers for 8 months, for 12 months, and it's systemic. You cannot take football out of this environment, But it's been let me see a state that will tell the chairman, after all, I've given you money, why have you not paid the player and so on? The players should be able to speak for themselves with one voice and so on. But like I said, the LMC should really becoming the Nigerian Football Federation. We are under the circumstance. I think we are doing very, very well. We are doing well. It can be better, I must confess.
It can be better, and obviously something
far better.
So what is that thing that needs to be done, Paul Bassey?
So don't run away from the system. Don't run. It's like I said to you, I don't have any business going to driving all the way, 3 days on the road to Bauchi, come back again, and then the next week I'm going to Katsina. You come back again, I'm going to Gombe. That is one of it. It weakens the players. It doesn't make out the best in the league. The other one is the fact that there are no funds. There's no money. Our country is not the best of times for this country. And then where are we? Let me tell you, I played with you, and I said, fans, come and pay 200 naira to watch. And people are complaining, why don't you make it 100 naira? Is that what is going to finance the football club? What about the marketing aspect of it? What have we not done? We have created to come and sponsor this club, and they tell you from where, So I think it's a collective thing. It's not just it's Catholic. It's all encompassing, So I believe we'll get there. Okay, the sports media, everybody, we just have a responsibility to build our league, And I know it will not be done overnight, but we must keep on insisting that we have to keep on working at it.
Okay, Paul Bassey. Paul Bassey, lastly, so far so good. Are we prepared for the next match?
There is no better preparation than that defeat. It's the best preparation ever. we are prepared. Like I said, we've sat down, we've analyzed. I want to bring out all these other, to throw into the dustbin. There's people talking about distance from hotel to the stadium and see we just are not in the same hotel. You see, they did this, we are going to Port Harcourt and see that is not the same field that we beat Algeria. But those are distractions. You know, we realized that on the day we had players who were not fit. We fielded people. We left our best legs at home, and we experimented with the youth. It didn't work for us. So definitely, definitely, I can assure you, when the next match comes, be my guest. And then you see better.
I won't let you go without asking this question. Let's hear from you.
You didn't allow to accept my invitation.
Okay, Chienye, you didn't invite me.
No, I didn't invite you.
And for those who do not know, Paul Bassey was one of those who trained, tutored, and guided me as a young reporter. So you did not invite me.
No, don't worry, I think we'll come. I've trained you. What else can I give to you?
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. You wrote as a journalist, as a sport columnist, you criticized, you analyzed football, and sometimes some people chastise you saying you play football with your pen. Today, you are a football administrator. Now, what are the differences? What are those things you were seeing then when you were critical of those who were administering it that you did not see and you can now see?
No, I'm still critical. You must confess. If we ask people, and Stanley, in fact, even yesterday I was with him on the phone for about 30 minutes. The only difference is that when you are inside the house, you can only help build that house. Don't expect me, as the chairman of the club, as the member of the technical committee, to take my dirty linen to the public. I fight inside. That is what I do. I mean, if I see anything wrong, I will shout from the inside. We have avenues, and if I feel that it's not good enough, if I feel there is no hope, I opt out. The difference, like I said earlier, is that, I mean, when you're out there, you don't know. You don't have the opportunity of knowing. You can imagine a club that goes to Ilorin and plays a match on a Sunday away. It comes to you then drive all the way from Monday, get to you and play on a Wednesday and they draw. And after that Wednesday, the champions they host again and they are going out to Bauchi to play on a Sunday. And then they come back again to you on a Wednesday to play against Rangers and they drew. And then people start shouting. You see, I will complain as a journalist, but as an administrator, I know how difficult it was for those young men. That is what happened to us at the beginning of the season. We played 2 matches away on Sundays, 2 matches at home on Wednesdays. It was telling. And we had to shout from inside. We had to talk to ourselves and everything, and it was not good enough. Yes, we needed to restructure the league. We needed to see how we could end at the season with the African League. But it was not working for us. So I do a lot of criticism inside. And thank God that sometimes we look at it and we protest. Like I said, it will not happen in 24 hours. But when you are out there, that is why I speak with my colleagues, junior colleagues, ask a lot of questions. You have our phone lines. You can talk to us. Be better informed and educated about how it's working. Just wake up in the morning and start writing. It's different. Now I know better. I'm more mature in my approach. And as long as I'm inside, I will fight until if I find out there is no hope, I'll get out and pick up my pen again.
All right, here we must let you go. The national news must come up at 10 o'clock. Yes, we've been speaking with Mr. Paul Bassey, sport journalist, sport administrator, and a member of the CAF, that's the Confederation of African Football. Thank you very much, all the way from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate it. You didn't add that I was a journalist in waiting. It's my pleasure just to talk to you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the 10 o'clock news.
In the meantime, begin to
All right, standing up for the champions that you are all over where you are listening to Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Abeokuta. This is the voice of the people, Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show this morning. looking at our football. Next step to the World Cup will be August, a double header they will call it, against Cameroon, first in Nigeria and then in Cameroon. That is coming after the first loss really of the technical advisor, the foreign technical advisor of Nigeria, Gernot Rohr, and of course the first defeat, competitive defeat in the hands of South Africa. Earlier on, we spoke with those who take decision for us as it has to do with football. First was Seyi Akinwunmi, a lawyer and the first vice president, member of the board of the Nigerian Football Federation. Of course, his opinion, he denied emphatically that the board nor the committee is not interfering in the selection process in who the German technical advisor invites or who he will field on the day. And he says they have no plans to do so. And of course, he also said they are already preparing for that big one by encouraging the technical advisor to go out in search of Nigerians wherever they are, and also banking on the fitness of some of the established names in the team who were missing: Kenneth Omero, Victor Moses, and the likes, the goalkeeper who were mixing, Kali Keme, who were missing during that competition. Of course, he also talked about the goal line technology introduced by FIFA. He said that is good for football. On the other hand, a member of the NFF technical committee, a journalist, sports administrator, actually the general manager of Aqua United, the domestic league premiership contender, Paul Bassey, says it is important that both the coach and the technical committee must meet. They must talk. We should not just give it to the technical committee. He picks his team, he scouts for the boys, but the technical committee must have an input. They must advise him, they must check, they must endorse, they must research those names the technical advisor will be bringing before we bring them. He said it's totally obsessed with the performance, with the team and the preparation, and that the loss to South Africa is actually coming as a blessing in disguise. That will open up our eyes to those things we hitherto have not been looking at. That's the position of Paul Bassey. He also talked about the domestic league, commending the performance of both the players and the refereeing. So far, the league is, I think it's in the 19th or 20th week, the second stanza of the 20-team national domestic league. All right, let's get you engaged. Let's get your thoughts, your opinion. If you have questions on the matter so far, like we all know, almost every Nigerian is a football coach, a football analyst, and the football player by mouth, like Chienye, of course, and myself. All right. Okay, so 009868734.
Yes, sir. Ọjọ́ pẹ̀lú.
Ayodo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Taiwan.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Ayodo, I want to disagree with Paul Bassey. It will amount to interference if the NFL has said it. They said the technical advisor should submit his list for them to vet or for them to put input. That it is absolutely wrong. It means they want to continue. It was done before. It means they want to start interfering with the work of that technical advisor. Now, let me ask you, if they interfere, if they have input, and our team is defeated, who will carry the blame? They put the blame on the technical advisor. And even if we win, what happens? They want to claim glory. So it is so. Let them leave the technical advisor to do his work. Let them do it. he knows the people. Look, he has been scouting around, which that has never been done before. Look at how many players he has discovered. And the man is trying. The fact that we have defeated in New York doesn't mean, hell will not let loose.
But when you say players, he has.
I will advise you get away from New York. Go to another place. That place is not a lucky ground for us. Let's find another place. Maybe Abuja or maybe Kaduna.
Okay, but that was a very beautiful
Thank you
stadium.
very much.
I don't know, Chen, if you saw that. A very beautiful stadium. It looks like one of those stadiums in Europe. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. And I like the name, Nest of Champions. Hello.
Hello.
The sum total of my issue is Nigerian football state is in a sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
What do you mean, Alex Saro?
Has dropped the call.
Okay. Hello. I'm sure that must be the coach.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Akinwunmi.
Okay.
Yes, I'm calling from Abeokuta.
All right.
Thank you.
For calling.
The same Akin today, I suspect.
Yeah,
Right,
chairman in Ogun State.
Okay, you should add that.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I listened to the two people you actually spoke with, and it's very interesting. But I want to, I'm very worried because we've been saying it for long from our position. What has been the work of the technical committee? If they have been sidelined, since when? What was their input before they brought in Sunday Olise, who was stand at Nigeria's Guardiola? What was their input when Sunday Olise started bringing in all form of players that we didn't even know from every part of the world to play for the Super Eagles? Why did they lose their voice? What was their input when Olise decided that Yama was no more good to be the captain of to play for Nigeria again? When? Why are they shouting now? Why are they just now coming up? Yes, I agree that yes, there could be. Gernot Rohr experimented when he shouldn't have experimented, and we got it right, and we got it wrong. Beg your pardon. And it was good that it was only the start of a Nations Cup qualifier because we lost to a better team. But we have said it for long. There should be synergy. I agree with that. What is the policy that? What is the kind of? How are they been relating with the NFF, with the national team coaches? Were they giving any respect? I agree. I agree with some of his points. That of course it is not a no-all situation for Gernot Rohr. He must at least make contact with the technical committee and lay the cards down for them to have input. But it is not just in the era of Gernot Rohr that we have been agents running Nigerian football at the national team level. It's been long, and they've lost their voice for a very long time. They both just have to stand up now and take the bull by the horn and do things they're supposed to do. That's why we move forward. It is not yet something we could cry about. It has come at a time that we'll just buckle up and, of course, get to work again and choose the correct players. We can only get there by mixing experience with youthfulness. Don't think because you have some young guys and you feel that they can shine in friendly matches. Friendly matches are different from competitive matches. And that was the difference between us and South Africa. We lost a better team, and we should just take it up from that and continue to guide our way to success in the nearest future.
All right, thank you, Akin Dave, part of those who set that agenda with what they write and what they say about sports. He just told us we lost to a better team. Can we check the messages for those of you who've been commenting through that platform?
Yes, sure we can. We have some messages here. We have this one from Ashiwaju Shogunle. It is good we lost to South Africa, as this would enable us to prepare fully for the next matches, while NFA should leave the coaches alone to do their job. Thanks. Okay, that was turned in by Ashiwaju. The corruption in Nigeria has affected every sector, including sports. NFA officials favored the foreign technical advisor, not because they have the interests of the nation at heart, but their selfish interest. Until those novices in the glass house are removed, there will still be challenges with our sports. Nigeria may not qualify for both nations, the World Cup, if the current poor administration continues. May God help Nigeria. Kenny Additional from Ashiru sent in that one. Dele, can we have the position of Akinwunmi and Bassey on Onigbide's objection to coach Onigbide over reliance on foreign-based players to concentrate on the local boys? Okay, that's from Kayode from Randa.
God, I think if you are talking about using our best legs, and as well as those guys are Nigerians, I think we should search for them anywhere they are. If unfortunately or interestingly, the number of those who are playing outside the country is more than those who are playing within. I don't think there's anything wrong in that. And the other one is the truth is the technicality and the technology, all the things needed to grow your football into an international standard are not here in Nigeria. So maybe that's why coaches would always prefer the overseas based than the local based. I don't think there's anything wrong. In as well, I will still agree that they are Nigerians and qualified. They are qualified to play for the country.
Yes, my name is Ayodo.
All right, thank you for calling.
Yes, I'm speaking for Abeko. Well, to me, I don't think there's anything wrong if we lose. We cannot continue to win all the time. But the Nigerians must continue to win. I believe it is better when we lose against South Africa now than to lose against Cameroon. Because the last match, we definitely assist us to prepare very well against the remaining matches. The technical advisor, Campbell, he experimented when it's not supposed to experiment. But I believe it's going to be in our favor. So South Africa that won against us does not just mean they didn't just start against. They didn't just start that Saturday.
Adela, should the technical committee now get involved in the
The
selection?
technical committee is supposed to be involved. The technical advisor can give his own advice. Then you can also listen to other the technical committee. And that does not mean they have to impose a player on him. They should sit down together and see advantages and disadvantages of a player before inviting that player. That is just what I believe. I believe South Africa has greatly improved. They were the one that denied us the Nations Cup last Nations Cup. So if they have just come to conclude what they started, as a result, that we should call it improve our football.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, good morning. All right, we lost that call.
I greet you. Very impressive topic, discussion. I'm Kelly from Abeokuta. See, that game between Super Eagles and the South African Bafana for Bafana also was a little bit untidy. One that needed qualified quality players. And I believe we should not blame ourselves for not winning that game at all. And I will tell you the reason why I'm saying this. You see, not even to blame the technical crew at all. Perhaps our share blame is on most often not putting more effort at preparing or preparation or preparatory to any game like this. The only way out is for us to probably look at those that are qualified among all of those players that we parade and then put some more engineering or re-engineering ourselves so that we'll be able to win more of these games, so that we'll be able to appear probably in the next whatever. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Can we wrap it up with messages?
Yes, sure we can. We have two messages here. We have this from Akin Omoakin. The technical advisor must be guided by the technical crew. The loss to South Africa, to say the least, is scandalous. You can't compromise experience. That's from Akin Omoakin. Then we have this one from Ade. Technical advisor and coaches must be compelled to work hand in hand with the NFF technical committees in the selection of players to be used in matches, and that is very crucial when it is not friendly. It doesn't mean the technical committees will pick the final lists. Technical advisor can still do that, but rubbing minds together before that before that, okay, for him to have a good result at the end of the day, he shouldn't be Mr. All. That's a suggestion from Ade. That's for the messages and
And
tweets.
right, and I guess that's where we
Right on
would,
time.
call it a day on the program Daybreak Show this Tuesday, the 20th day of June 2017. Many thanks to everybody who've joined us via the tweet, the short code, the phone, and for those of you who I know are there too, listening patiently and enjoying it. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria. God bless Rock City.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Good morning.